What's going on, everyone? Los Angeles Lakers are trying to trade Russell Westbrook away, and the ultimate goal and prize is to get Kyrie Irving, right? The Lakers want Kyrie because he is a much better fit than Russell Westbrook currently is with the team. And now the Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James experiment clearly failed, and there's many that believe and hope that Darvin Ham could get Russell Westbrook to buy back in. I mean, Darvin Ham has spoke super highly of Russell Westbrook lately, right? Every time he has an opportunity to talk about just the Lakers and the job and stuff, he brings up Russell Westbrook. And now, of course, he's just showing face. He's saying all the right things. But I really do believe that he believes that he could get Russell Westbrook to be a better fit with this team. And I do think that the 4-out, 1-in offense would be very well suited for Russell Westbrook because he could just charge downhill. He could be in the dunker spot. There are ways to kind of put him in position to be effective. Frank Vogel never really gave him the opportunity to be effective. He was relegated to being a spot-up corner shooter, and he never really got to run downhill. The whole reason the Lakers traded for Russell Westbrook was to allow him to be Russell Westbrook. How many times did we hear throughout the season, we just need Russ to be Russ. We just need Russ to be Russ. But how can Russ be Russ when nobody gave him the position to do that? And Russell Westbrook, the whole idea was you get Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, now he can play off the ball a little bit. He's going to miss some games, so you have Russ to kind of make up for that. And on top of that, you could kind of have Russ play when LeBron isn't. But that never even happened, right? It was like every time Russ was on the court, LeBron James was on the court. And instead of running Russ as like a sixth man type role, they never did that. And so Russ was never able to just be Russ. And the idea is that Darvin Ham, he could do that for Russ, right? So you start the game off. Here's, 5 minutes of LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook. After the 5-minute mark, you take LeBron out, and it's like, Russ, it's your show. You got 5 minutes to just dominate and be the Russell Westbrook that we know and love. And you let him do that like 5 minutes a quarter every game, and there you go. There's just 25 minutes, 30 minutes. He probably plays the last 5 minutes if he's in rhythm, stuff like that. That was the goal. Like that could be a huge possibility. But many Laker fans don't even want that to happen. Many Laker fans want him gone. Whether it's in the Indiana Pacers trade, it's in the Kyrie Irving trade, whatever happens, get rid of Russell Westbrook. But it is a real possibility that Russell Westbrook remains on the roster this year. If none of the trades end up working out, you can't just trade Russ just to move him, right? I mean, you're almost better off sending him home and having him sit because you want the salary relief. Because if you go and you take back some bad contracts and you can't improve your roster next season, then the Russ thing was even more of a disaster, right? You have Russell Westbrook's money falling off the books this year, plus LeBron's. If you want to go and sign Kyrie Irving this offseason coming up, then there you go. But if you end up trading Russ and you take back, a salary that's on your books for the next several years, now you're in trouble. And if LeBron's like, I can't win with these guys, and he's gone, now you're in the Luol Deng situation all over again. And many people in Russ's ears, as based on reports from yesterday, are all saying that, Russ, you need to accept your role. You need to buy in and you need to just stick it out. And Russell Westbrook wants to be traded. He doesn't want to stay there because he knows the Lakers don't want me. None of them want me. So why would I want to stay here? I mean, he even fired his agent over it because his agent was telling him, accept your role. The Lakers are going to end up having to trade you and give up assets in order to trade you rather than getting assets in a trade for you. So that looks bad. Any team that trades for you doesn't want you as a player. They're going to buy you out, and then you're going to end up having to go elsewhere, and you're going to be on, 6 teams in 5 years. You're going to be taking a vet minimum salary on any team you go to, and you're never going to get a real contract ever again. Like, that was the agent's process. Like, the agent was telling Russ, like, your best case scenario is to buy into whatever Darvin Ham wants you to do. He believes in you. He's high on you. If you buy in and you're successful, then, another team might actually offer you some money. Because he's never going to be the $47 million a year guy ever again. Like that, those days for Russell Westbrook are long gone. But he is a guy that could get somewhere between 15 to 20 million a year, especially the way like teams throw out contracts and stuff like that. Like, especially if he can show I am not that guy that is I only want to be the guy. If he could come in, accept his role, play better defense, high energy, and get back to being the Russell Westbrook that we know and love and kind of fit with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, then one, if Darvin Ham can make it work, this could be a really scary team. If you get Russell Westbrook bought in, high energy, and Darvin Ham can make it work, I'm not saying that they're a contender, but they could be a really solid team. Like, it's just, can you get them to fit? Can you get it to work? And look, I have been a big defender of Russell Westbrook. I don't think he's absolved of any liability, but many people act like, oh, if we didn't have Russell Westbrook, we would have won the championship last year. But that wasn't the case. The team was an absolute disaster from front to back. Russ was part of the problem, but he wasn't the main problem. He just kind of became the scapegoat. But he can only do so much, right? And Frank Vogel did not want him there from day one. Him and Frank Vogel fought and duked it out. And now he's got a coach in Darvin Ham that, at least whether it's true or not, has the perception of, like, I believe in him. And Russ even proved that he's willing to accept Darvin Ham, right? He showed up to the press conference. Darvin Ham said, me and Russ, we had tons of conversations and we talked about his fit and what I expect from him and what I need him to do as a player. And Russ is fully bought in. He's willing to commit. He's willing to do whatever it takes to make it work, right? Then there were the reports that, Anthony Davis, LeBron, and Russell Westbrook, they kissed and made up and said, hey, if you're on this team, whatever ends up happening, if come season, you're here, we're going to figure out whatever we have to figure out to make it work and try to compete for a championship. And Russ said, I'm all in. I'm bought in. Let's do it. Whatever it takes. And then all the Kyrie mess happened. And now it's a different scenario, which I don't really blame Russ because, if I was in a situation where these people didn't want me either, all right, then get rid of me. You don't want me? Fine, trade me. Send me somewhere, whatever. It's just, and I understand, and I do believe that if Russell Westbrook, if they end up keeping him, I don't think he's going to be a disaster. If they can't make him fit, then yes. But as far as the locker room goes, he's not a guy like Kyrie Irving who would sit an entire year. You're still going to get 100% of Russell Westbrook. He doesn't know any different. So you're at least going to get that engine, that motor, that guy that's there night in and night out. He played 78 games last year. He would have played in all 81 if the Lakers didn't make him sit. So that's a huge bonus when you're talking about Russ, that durability, that guy that can play night in and night out. And at least you're going to get that. Anthony Davis is going to miss 20-plus games this season. LeBron's going to miss 20-plus games this season. So if Russ can buy in and Darvin Ham can get him to fit into the system, then that could be hugely beneficial for the Lakers, for Russ, for everybody. And like I said, I really think if you give Russ 20 minutes a game and you just tell him, look, this is your show. You're going to get 20 minutes a game. It's not going to all be at once, but it's going to be in spurts. But I need you to go get me, 20 to 30 points a night in that 20-minute time frame. And I need you to still go get me, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, all that stuff. I really think you could see 22 to 25 point a game Russell Westbrook averaging damn near a triple-double in those 20 to 25 minutes that he gets to just run the show. You have to start him just because, one, his ego and all that stuff is going to play a role, but you play him in minutes as if he was the sixth man. So you almost never play Russ with LeBron James other than to start the game, and if Russ is really balling out, if he's wow, Russ is that dude today, then you leave him in and you let him close out the game with LeBron and you kind of figure it out, make it work. And you have the three of them, work it out that way, and just these little spots. I just need you to be great together. The three of you together, 10 minutes a game. That's it. 10 minutes a game. I need you guys to figure it out. You don't have to figure it out for 40 minutes a game, just 10 minutes a game. Russ, you get, 20 minutes to yourself. Then LeBron gets 20 minutes to himself. You run some, Anthony Davis gets to play with Russ a little bit, gets to play with LeBron a little bit. So Anthony Davis is the clog, that is between the trio. But Russ and LeBron are almost never on the court at the same time. I really think you can make it work. How many times do we see Frank Vogel play Rajon Rondo, LeBron James, and Russell Westbrook for large periods of the game? That should have never happened. And then when Rondo left, you had THT, Westbrook, and LeBron playing large minutes. Like, that should never be a lineup. I don't care that you're trying to figure stuff out. Like, you should know, common sense tells you those three guys are the exact same. And if LeBron and Westbrook together don't work, then why would LeBron, THT, and Westbrook work? Or, Rondo, Westbrook, and LeBron work. And look, they didn't play a ton of minutes together in general. And they were an over 500 team in the games that they played together. So there were positive signs. It's just, can you figure out a way to make it effective rather than just like, oh, here's a small sample size. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think that if push comes to shove, again, I do think Russell Westbrook is gone one way or another, whether it's the Indiana trade, whether it's for Kyrie. I don't think Westbrook is going to be on the roster. But if he is, do you think that he can be more effective? Do you think that he could, if he buys in and Darvin Ham can figure it out and figure out a way to make this happen and make it work, do you think that we could see a different Russell Westbrook next season? The big question for all the coaches, and even Darvin Ham confirmed it, that the big question was, what are you going to do with Russ on this team? And Darvin Ham even said, one of the reasons I was so excited was because Russ was on the team, right? So he has spoke more highly about Russ than any other player. Anthony Davis, don't get me wrong, he's talked a lot of high praise for Davis, but Westbrook is the guy over and over and over again that he keeps bringing up. And I do think a big part of that is just, what else is he going to say? Nah, Russ sucks, it's not going to work. No, of course he's going to say all the right things. And I do believe that that's a lot of what Darvin Ham is doing, just saying the right things. But in reality, I do think he can get it to work. I think the 4-out, 1-in offense with Russ, if he's put in the right positions, could be extremely helpful and effective for Russ. Look at what they were able to do with Giannis. And I'm not trying to say Russ is anywhere near Giannis, but it's not like Giannis is this great lights out shooter. He's improved tremendously, but he's not a guy that you can just count on to get you 3 or 4 threes a game. He has his moments here and there, but usually it's you spread the floor and you got him just getting downhill with the head of steam, try to stop him, floor spread, get him in one-on-one positions and get a score. That's what you can do with Russ. You run Russ in a lot of the sets that Giannis is in. Whether it's down low, whether it's, coming downhill, whatever. I do think you could make Russ very effective in Darvin Ham's offense this season. But those are my thoughts and opinions. And again, I'd love to hear yours. So let me know down in the One last little shameless plug is I did start As It Stands Lakers. It is a channel just like this, dedicated to only the Lakers, because the Lakers are my favorite team. And on this channel, As It Stands, I talk about all teams, all sports, stuff like that. We have football season coming up, so I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. And I just wanted to make a dedicated channel to the Lakers to give the ins and outs. Now, all the big stuff, all the big news and stuff, I will still post here on this channel. But if you want all the ins and outs and just rumors and theories and just discussions just strictly on the Lakers, link down in the description or in the comment section. Go check out the channel, subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.